during VEDA last month, I mentioned that I one night ended up on a Canadian warship and I didn't really give any details. So a couple of people asked how that happened, and I am here to explain it to you today. Before I start, I feel like I should warn y'all that I made a lot of very poor decisions that led to me ending up on this warship, and I do not at all encourage or promote that anyone do anything that I did, because this situation could have ended so poorly. And I am forever grateful that it ended up being a really fun experience and a great story, but I am fully aware that it could have led to me being dead or something. In October of 2011, when the Canadian warship incident happened, I was actually going through a breakup that I was sort of kind of aware of. My boyfriend at the time had been ignoring me for a week. And then I got a call from his number. I called the number back and a woman picked up. So I was basically just in a bad headspace. My friend invited me out to a bar to take my mind off of things. I was being a total party pooper and I decided to leave, and that's when all of this went down. So I was walking back to my car from the bar and I passed these two guys sitting on stairs in front of an apartment building, and one of the guys yells something at me, and I know it's directed at me because there's nobody else around. It's maybe 1 in the morning and I don't know what he says, so I get closer to the two guys and I ask him to repeat himself, and he says something along the lines of, "Are you sure you're safe walking out here all by yourself?" And I said something along the lines of, "Yeah, unless you're going to rape me," which is not a good thing to say to two strange men who are drinking beer and there's nobody else around in the middle of the night. And these guys just end up laughing and they invite me to chat with them. And I accept the invitation. I told you guys, I didn't make good decisions. They ask me why I seem so upset and we talk for a while. At 2 points during this evening, I get away from these two guys and I come back. Both times they are completely surprised that I leave and come back to this potentially dangerous situation. At some point, they tell me they're going to get a cab to get back to what turns out to be an aircraft carrier for the Canadian Air Force. And I tell them, you know what, it's fine, let me drive you to your ship. So I go get my car, I come back, pick these two guys up, and they're like, "Cheryl, you should never do this. This is not safe." They direct me to the cruise ship terminal in downtown San Diego. We approach a gate, and one of the guys, Michael, gets out and talks to these guards who are outside, and I assume the other guy, Christian, is going to get out as well and that they're just gonna leave. And as it turns out, Michael gets back in my car, Christian stays in my car, and the guards open the gate and wave me in. And Michael says, you know, "Go drive, park, I want to show you the ship." And that is basically how I ended up on the ship. They introduced me to some of the people, they fed me, they showed me around. I ended up in a helicopter, which is where that video came from, and that is the story of how I ended up on a Canadian warship. It was a terrible series of decisions that led to a really cool story, and I'm grateful that I'm alive. So that is the story.
Bye! Fuck you, Jay.